I'm Victoria Vallejo, and I will be your funeral director today. I'm sorry to be meeting under these circumstances, but I am honored to be able to take care of your family. To honor your loved one, there are a few pieces of business that we'll need to take care of, one of those being picking out a casket. So before we get started today, I'm going to give you a casket price list. And there's a few things we're going to talk about on this before we go over our caskets in the selection room. On our casket price list, we have our wooden caskets and the metal caskets that are in the selection room listed with their details and their prices so y'all can look back on it. These are just the caskets that are shown here in our showroom, but if there's something else that you would like, let me know and we can look further into it. As you look at your casket price list, you have all of your wooden caskets from most expensive to least expensive. On here, you will see all of the hardwood caskets, which are caskets that come from a deciduous tree and are a closed grain wood. Those are typically the higher grade of your wood caskets. We also do offer a soft wood pine casket. That is just a pine casket, no ornamentation or veneer on it. So if that's something that you're interested in, just let me know and we can look at it. Sometimes people opt for the more simple look, and that's perfectly fine. And then if you go to the next page, you will see the metal caskets. On here, all that we have in our showroom are going to be the stainless steel caskets. We do offer a few non-ferrous metal caskets such as copper and bronze. They are more expensive, so we don't have anything to show in here. But if that's something you would like, just let me know and we can take a look in our book from our distributor. So now that we have looked over the price list, I'm going to show you around the casket selection room. Behind us, we have our full caskets, so you can see what they look like. These are all considered a half couch casket, which means that they each open up separately, so you can have just the top open while the feet are still being covered. The one that we have right here is our lowest priced casket. It is the Stafford, and it is an 18 gauge gasketed casket. What that means is 18 gauge is kind of the middle between the 20 and the 16 gauge that these stainless steel caskets are offered in. Now, if you come a little closer, you can see this interior, and this is what is considered a velvet interior. It has a smoother to the touch look, and this casket is also gasketed, which means when we close it, after y'all's viewing and y'all's service, we are able to put a key in the end and a gasket goes through the entire thing that will lock it and help keep some of the water out of it. And then another metal casket that we offer is going to be this Wingate, and it is a 20 gauge, so it's a little bit thinner of a metal. This one, however, is a non-gasketed, which means whenever you close it, it just has a latch. It does not have that extra protection that the Stafford would have. And then over here we have our Sebring casket, and that is a pecan casket with a Baroque interior, which is where there are the satin with the embossing on it. And as I take you around the other sides of our showroom, we have our more expensive caskets, our hardwoods, such as a mahogany, and that is a harder to source wood, and that is why it is going to be our most expensive casket. I'm going to come around over here to show y'all something else we offer, and that is this Birmingham, which is a veneer casket. It is a popular veneer, which means that there is a different type of wood, possibly a plywood underneath with that popular just laminated on top of it. Something else you will notice is that there's a few different finishes that are offered here. On our barnwood, it is just a solid wood. Then over here, we're gonna have that satin finish that's a little bit on the shinier side. In these caskets that are only the quarters, inside of here, you will see our different interiors. On these two, they are both going to be that weave interior, and so there's some texture on it that's different from your satin or your velvet. And then as we come over here, we start with our other metal caskets. I'm going to show you this Valencia because it has the crepe interior, which is another option of interior. The crepe interior, it has some texture, not quite as much as your weave, but more than your satin, and it has a little bit more of a texture to it. At this time, I'm going to give y'all some time by yourselves to look around the casket room and to look over the prices and the casket price list. If there's any questions you have, please just let me know.